The allegations are true. I like the Metriacanthasaurus. So I've had the Metriacanthasaurus for a day or two now since recording this, and I can really say that, yeah, it's actually a pretty solid figure, although I've heard a couple people say differently. We'll get into that a little bit later, but let's go over what I think of the Metriacanthasaurus, because my opinion matters more than yours. To start out, I think this figure has one of the best sculpts I've ever seen on any of the Hammond collection figures, maybe right behind the Ceratosaurus. The only two things I think are a little bit strange are I really don't like the arms, more specifically the hands and how they are pronated. It would have been nice to have it to where we can at least articulate them to change that, but I'm not going to complain too much. And the legs, in my opinion, look a tad bit short. I don't know if that's just me or not, but I think they could have been just a little bit bigger. But other than those two things, very good figure in terms of its sculpt. Now, when we talk about colors, I know a couple of y'all were slamming your keyboards whenever it got shown and it didn't have the Jurassic World Evolution colors.
Discord notification sound.
But I don't mind the colors. I actually think that they fit on the Metri just as much as the website design does. Kind of looks like an arid desert variant or something like that. The mouth paint's a little lacking, but for the medium-sized figures, that's nothing new. They usually just have the standard mouth detail, and that's okay. I think the tail could have benefited with more paint on it, and of course, the white underbelly kind of ceases right as the tail starts to, start. Hopefully, that's a trend we'll see die down in the Hammond collection, at least in 2024. But now let's talk about something I've heard that people do not like about this figure, besides the colors, which are, normal. And the thing I've heard people not liking about the figure is primarily the face, and more specifically the lower jaw and how it curves downward, which I didn't even notice after looking at it for a second, but once I did, I realized that it really doesn't matter that much. If there's any change that I think needs to be noted about the figure, it's that its head is huge. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad thing, just the width of the head is really weird. It looks a lot more like its bigger cousins like Carcharodontosaurus and Giganotosaurus more than it does Metriacanthasaurus. But in my opinion, it gives the design a little bit more life and makes it more than just a boring basal theropod. And honestly, it's one of the few dinosaurs that I've seen in the Jurassic World line that makes the color brown interesting. Unlike a certain dinosaur. Honest to God, the biggest downgrade in Mattel history. But anyways, I believe it is time that I start wrapping this video up because I've given just about every thought I have on the Metriacanthasaurus. Overall, I think it's a very good figure, and if you do see it, grab it with your little Gremlin-Knight hands and take it to your home. I want to give big props to the people who constantly watched Engine Dinosaur Profile. For whatever reason, Season 5 popped off more than usual, so I'm very glad to hear that. And like this video if you want to see Season 6. Bye-bye!